Give them the middle finger up the.
Yeah, give that. Actually, they might enjoy it.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not speaking from experience, though, but I'm just saying you don't want a bloody booty hole. I have a question for both of you guys.
Here we go.
I'm gonna start with me though. I was made fun of for the size of my head as a kid.
Speaking of being performance enhanced, I showed my son the other day something top secret.
Uh-oh.
The art of making a protein shake.
Oh,
I can only imagine now that I'm
Not
seeing.
necessarily just to be stronger. I just want to feel better and move better in my day-to-day life. This exercise right here helps a lot.
You embarrass yourself.
do the Stairmaster. That's how the pros did it. I just think
It's more optimal.
It's more optimal, and I think we've just been lying to ourselves by like avoiding running.
The whole aspect of trying to be healthy and having a level of fitness isn't just to look super big or super muscular or be super strong with a barbell. It's also to feel good on a daily basis.
If your concentration is in this particular realm and this is the thing that you want to do and you're interested in it, you will go after it so hard, it'll be to the detriment of other stuff. And you have to be kind of okay with that. But it's also to the detriment of that other stuff just for a little while. It also doesn't have to be to the detriment of those other things. Just like you did channel that in my head somehow. That was
Dude,
weird.
you did.
Yeah, jail holds.
Don't do that ever again.
But you knew exactly what was
Make me
going
say all
on.
kinds of crazy shit on here.
If you guys saw the video.
That was amazing. He did a Jedi mind trick on me.
Don't ever do that again.
Power Project family, how's it going? And listen up. We talk about meat and nutrition all the time on this podcast, from the carnivore diet, keto, low carb, IFYM. And the cool thing is that we've partnered with a great company, Piedmontese Beef. Yes, it's beef. And the great thing about Piedmontese Beef is this: no matter if you're someone who's dieting on low fats, high fats, carnivore, any diet, they have different types of cuts of steak that are going to fit your diet perfectly. From the flat iron that has, Andrew, what is the macros on that thing?
So that one has 46 grams of protein and only 4 grams of fat for the entire steak.
And if you want fattier cuts, they have ribeyes, center cuts. They have literally everything for no matter what diet you do. So you can't use the excuse of your diet and tell yourself that you can't eat red meat. So Andrew, how can they get Piedmontese beef?
Yes, man. So that's at Piedmontese.com. That's PIEDMONTESE.com. At checkout, enter promo code POWER for 25% off your entire order. And if your order is $150 or more, you get free 2-day shipping. Again, Piedmontese.com, promo code POWER. All links down in the description, as well as the podcast show notes. I'm recording now.
Oh God.
You said it was like it was a bad thing. Give them the middle finger up the ass.
Yeah, give that. Actually, they might enjoy it.
That's what I'm saying. Might feel good. It might be like the Ben Greenfield situation, laying on the bathroom floor. I can't get that out of my head.
Why the
Ben.
bathroom floor? I don't know.
Yeah, I picture his kids knocking on the door. Dad,
I'm busy.
Go away.
Dad, we want to go in the cold plunge.
Yeah.
My
away.
A word of advice to anybody who wants. This mic sounds weird now. Did you? The headphones.
Dude, he was very sensitive. Hold on. Just
To the
keep
headphones.
going. I'll fix it.
All right. So actually, we had a guest on recently.
Andrew loves coming over here and touching stuff by my dick.
Yeah. I'm not even going to go into it, but I'm just saying, if you guys do end up,
Whoa, I'm sensitive right there.
if you guys are listening on audio, there we go. Andrew,
Wow, hey.
Thank you. Wow. I'm in the ear now. If you
How do
guys
you know that's my spot?
well, Andrew, like he has that, he has experience.
Oh, yeah. We've been around each other for 6 years.
Has it been?
Yeah.
It's been 6 long.
It's been that we've been around each other a long time, or it's been that you've been around the block a lot of times?
Both.
You've been slutting around a bit.
Slutting it up.
We've slept in the same hotel room a few times.
Same hotel room, same Airbnb.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Same room.
yeah.
Yeah.
I gave you my mouth tape.
You did give me your mouth tape. Yeah.
Snuggle.
Used
Still
mouth
appreciate
tape.
I was going to say though.
Sorry.
No, if you guys just want to, if you ever do try anything, like Ben Greenfield, I think he was using a Therocane type thing to, do his pelvic floor. Just lube up. Okay, because if you don't, you know, it's not an easy passage, especially if you're not used to that. I'm not saying this from experience. I'm just saying, lube up. You know, there's a natural water-based lube out there, right? Just to moisten things up. I'm not speaking from experience, though, but I'm just saying you don't want a bloody booty hole.
But
I'm just saying.
it's weird you're saying you're not speaking from experience, but you sell your own water-based lube on your website.
Yeah. Yeah. And it'll soon be on powerproject.live, which is our website that's going live soon.
Yeah, we have a website.
Yeah, we at this point, by the time this podcast says
I
up,
have to go back and edit that out probably. Because if it's not up, we're fucked.
nah, it's okay. We have the domain. Guys, the website's going to be out soon.
But it's never mind.
Where you'll be able to get these mugs and some sick shit that we have coming out, along with our branded water-based lube.
We're gonna have to change everything, like
Shit's
the
gonna
way that we
change.
talk and stuff. We have to right. We're gonna have to
Be
dress nicer and stuff. I mean, you look good. I think a collared shirt, so that's good. That's a good start.
I was gonna change, but you know when you sweat, like you can't like peel it off, and that's where I was at, and then I forgot.
How do the pro wrestlers always peel their shirt off so easy? I always wanted that.
Wrestling's fake, so the shirt's not real.
Really, bro?
I don't know.
Wait, wrestling's fake?
No, the shirts.
Oh, okay. The shirts are
yeah.
real.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they rip them off easy, but sometimes they just take them off easy. Like I've even seen Triple H take off like a whole suit.
Yeah.
You ever see that?
Yeah.
He gets mad. He takes off the whole suit and he fucking throws it down.
Let me see
I'm
if I can
very
find
curious because
something.
I don't
Like
remember
I would be
this.
like, I'd be like stuck. I'd be like,
When Chris was getting on the belt today for the
oh, it was great. Oh yeah, he tried to put it over his head.
It's that shoulder mobility.
That was bizarre looking. He almost got trapped in there.
Oh no! I love you, Chris. I hope you don't hear that part.
Hope not.
It's a friendly roast. It's a friendly roast.
I remember he and I were working out together one time. I don't know why. You know, sometimes just things just look funny for a reason. Like he like went to sit down, like he was like trying to rest in between sets.
Yeah.
But he like went to sit down on like the incline bench, and you can't really sit down on the incline bench. So he sat there sideways for half a second and just realized what a bad idea it was. And I was like, that looks so dumb. Like, what are you doing? He's like, I don't know.
Like, because you got your knees close together.
Yeah,
You just look all.
yeah, it's super uncomfortable. I think he's trying to rest in between the sets or something.
But it just like forces you to look like all dainty because your knee. You're just,
that's what it did. Yeah. Or when you have your hat on backwards and you
All the
lay
time.
back to like try to do
Oh,
a bench.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I just avoid movements that force me to put my hat forward.
Such a rookie move to lay back with the hat back. You got to take it off first. And then you're trying to move your head around, like trying to get it off.
I have a question for you. Did you ever have a phase of life where you were just wearing hats more? And then was there a time where you just stopped wearing hats as much?
Yeah, I used to wear a hat like kind of all the time.
Yeah.
And then like mainly because we do the podcast, it feels a little uncomfortable for me to wear the hat and have the headphones on. So I just got rid of them. I would wear them out a lot of times, like not wear the hat out, like make it
Wear them to events.
fall apart. Yeah, I would wear it to events and stuff like that.
Uh-oh.
I don't know.
Might as
I got
well
a
just
little.
take it
I
off.
just like as you get a little older, like I got a little, some crinkles here and stuff, and it's like I put the hat on it for a little while, and I was like, oh, that kind of. And I'm like, who fucking cares? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, when I started,
Cares if I got some crinkles?
Yeah, when I started shaving my head, that's when I started wearing hats less. Because it was just way easier.
Yeah, my shit isn't fresh right now.
I mean,
But
mine either. That's why mine's currently
Dude,
on.
why do some guys hold on to the sides?
hold on to the sides.
Yeah,
like the sides, like when this, like they're
my dad.
My dad too. My dad too.
they won't let
For a
it-
little bit he did, but then he just got rid of it.
But like the coolest thing you can do is just be like, "Whoa, Dad! Like your hair looks good today," and he's just like, "Oh, thanks." So he gets all fired up.
But isn't it so weird? Like, why do you think that even looks remotely good to have just this really thick on the side?
It looks crazy. You look like a crazy person.
You look insane. You look way older than you actually are. Just
Yeah.
get rid of the fucking hair. It's bad.
I remember the worst like roast that wasn't supposed to be was Jessica Smith. She was like, "No, you don't look old until you take your hat off," and I'm like, "Oh,
Ooh, I don't want to take
thanks." I'm like,
Oh,
thank
damn.
you for that. I think I'm just gonna go fucking jump off a cliff now, but cool.
That's the worst when something hurts and then somebody was just like making an observation.
Like a matter of fact thing. I was just
Yeah.
so yeah.
This is stab me in the heart. When
Yeah.
You know, this is the thing though. You know, Mike came on, talked about his skin routine. Real quick, have you guys started? using lotion?
I
know I've given up on you. I've totally given up on you, Mark.
Hey, don't give up on me.
I know you're not gonna fucking use night cream or anything.
I switched my like body wash stuff.
Okay.
Mainly just to try to control like the acne and shit on my shoulders.
Okay.
So I did something.
Body wash?
Yeah, body wash to wash that. Other than that, no. Not at all.
I'll just say this, man. Night cream is very easy. Face lotion in the morning, very easy.
Yeah. My dad's 70 and he looks pretty good. So
yeah. You know, we kind of have luck here. Like both of me and you,
I have room for error.
I have room for error too, but I'd rather not take it. I
need support.
You need support.
Need some work.
You got a beach house. You're always in the sun. You know,
you need to lube it up.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you're wealthy, it doesn't matter. Like
he'll get some kind of weird like laser surgery, something rejuvenating.
Yeah, get a different avatar.
You could do the thing that Greg Doucette did with his hair. Right?
What did he do to his hair?
He had a full. He had that hair thing
like
where
hair.
they needled.
Oh wow!
Does
it work pretty good?
His hairline looks good now.
Oh.
I don't think he was even having problems. I think he just
wanted to rejuvenate or something, or
I think he got it for free.
Oh
wow! Well,
yeah, a lot of those companies for like people who have a lot of following, they'll let me do your hair thing. Let me do your hair transplant for free.
I wonder how much longer it will be before we figure out the hair loss thing. Probably won't be too much longer, right?
I think it's already. I don't know the science.
Like they have some room for like hair regeneration and stuff if you catch it early enough and stuff. I think, right?
Yeah. Fuck. I won't say who. It doesn't matter. I was talking to Sean Baker's business partner, and she's from another country. So,
but Sean Baker too, though. Like
no, but what I'm saying is, she was like, I don't understand why Americans even like go through that. They're just
why they
like,
care.
No. Because she was like. I guess, okay, I won't give out too much information. She knew somebody that was balding, and they have this certain thing that they can do, and like now he has like full on like fucking like hairband locks and shit, and it's all his. I should probably hit her up and ask her what it is. Not that I want to get it done, but because it'd be interesting to talk about here. But yeah, she was just like, why do Americans, even if they don't want to go bald, why do they go bald? And I'm like, genetics and stuff. And she's like, no, that's not it at all. Like we can fix that now. I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, okay.
It is interesting that there's certain things you can really like make fun of people for and tease them about, and there's other things that I think you need to be careful with all of it. But like if someone loses their hair, like you don't have any control over it. So it's kind of it's a screwy thing to make fun of, it's like my wife, she was bugging me about my eyes and stuff, and I'm like, that's just not cool. Like I somewhat lost some of my eyesight. There's nothing I can do about it.
I'm sorry.
You know what I mean?
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I just imagine Andy roasting you like you fucking no sight.
Yeah. Well, her eyes are going too.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's just something that happened. I don't have knowledge to like make it not happen. And if I did, I would do it,
Yeah.
So it's just interesting, like the different things you can like pile up on someone about. You hear the bald comments all the time. People comment on us three being bald all the time. It's just, I don't know. It's interesting. Like sometimes it's not good to fuck with people for certain things, but other things, for some reason, it's fair game. And I don't know if it should be or
Wait,
not.
Doc, I have a question for both of you guys.
Here we go.
I'm gonna start with me though. I was made fun of for the size of my head as a kid.
I remember, you said that.
So if the camera's on here, I do have what some would call, or what many have called, a peanut head. You see this big old thing back here? I have a peanut head. So that was what I was roasted for as a kid. But for you guys, was there anything that like made you self-conscious or just made you kind of like, man, that kind of hurts? Because I will say, man, I've worn hats a lot, not because I was bald, but because like I used to think my head is fat. I was able to finally grow into that shit, so it's not as fat as it used to look. But that was the main reason why I wore hats, because I have a fat ass head, and I'm okay with it now.
Like,
How about
cover
you?
this thing up?
Yeah.
Nothing with like the glasses, because like I've been wearing them forever, since I was fucking really little. So again, that's like one of those things where it's like okay, cool. Like, yeah, I didn't have a fucking choice to be born with like better eyes. It wasn't there. But before I forget, because I went and got, my eyes checked recently, getting worse. But my eye doctor was like, oh, how old are you again? And I'm like, I'm 37. He's just like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, once you hit 40, ooh, and I'm
that
like,
guy.
what the fuck is that, dude?
Fuck him.
I'm like, you suck. Like, why would you say that? You know, and so it just, I don't know, that frustrated the hell out of me. So I'm like,
Well, we're very aware here
Yeah.
about that shit. That's why we're very careful with our words. But I don't think most people are very aware. You know,
not at
Are you
all.
supposed to train your eyes at all? Like, are you like for you personally? Like,
No
does
one's ever told me to.
they ever say to like take the glasses off a bit and look around and get light in your eyes? Or,
Yeah, the
I mean, I don't know what would be right. I'm just curious.
Same. No, I mean, I've thought about that stuff too, because I'm like, if I just keep putting a Band-Aid on this shit, like okay, they got, like, my left eye got a little bit worse, so my prescription got a little bit stronger, and I'm like, well, what if it went the other way for a little bit? You know, we trained that motherfucker to get strong.
Yeah.
The only thing that I was close to, and I'm really upset that my mom didn't do it, because this happens a lot with kids, especially when, you know, I was born in 85, so anytime back then, so early 90s, late 80s, if you would see kids like with like a gigantic patch on one side. And so that was because my right eye was strong, left eye was weak. So when they would cover it up, I was forced to use my left eye. And so that would have brought it back up to the same strength as my right eye. And it could have potentially prevented me from wearing glasses or just kept them balanced to where I didn't have to have two different prescriptions. But other than that, like, no, I've never heard of anything other than, like, I know there's some like apps or some websites that will like,
Yeah, there's like gyms for your eyes.
Yes.
Like
Yeah, that
training
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it. It would be kind of cool to get someone on the podcast about it because it's supposed to be pretty effective.
Yeah.
To be able to like train your eyes. And for some people that already have healthy eyes, it's supposed to even make them stronger, which is like, who wouldn't want to improve their
yeah,
sight?
because from what I understand, it's actually like muscles in your eyes that will focus shit. And when I got LASIK the first time, I lost the ability to do that. It was completely gone, and I'm like, I fucked myself up. And then I got it again, and then just over time, I was able to build back the strength to focus again. But yeah, could you imagine just like seeing something blurry and being like, I can't strain to focus on it?
No, guys, I think there's something big to what you guys are both talking about, the eye training. Because I told you guys, my eyes weren't great when I was a kid, but my eyes continued to improve up until I got to 13. And my doctor was like, oh, you don't need glass. I wore glasses up until the point I was 13 years old. And he was like, oh, you don't need glasses anymore. Because my eyes were slowly getting better. They weren't great, and then they were getting better. And he's like, it must be like you're out playing soccer, you're having to focus far and near, you're having to do that consistently. And he said that's probably why my eyes got better.
Yeah, my eyes regressed quite a bit in my mid to late 20s because I commuted to work. So I was looking everywhere, and then I would sit at a desk, and then I'd leave and I'd commute and, you know, look out again. My position went remote, so I no longer commuted. So I was just in front of a screen, drive to the gym, back to the screen. So I never ever traveled for a long time anymore. And that's when they really took a hard downturn because I wasn't focusing on anything past my screen. So that really, like, that fucked it up.
Oh, we got to find somebody. This is something that, like, if like everything, shit can be trained.
Yeah.
Yeah,
gotta
I
find somebody.
totally, I agree. It's just, I haven't.
I do know some of the
looked into it.
stuff that we do is not healthy. Like even these lights aren't necessarily great. They're pretty bright, and it's like, you know, like it's not like directly, you know, pouncing on us, but even like when I'm looking at him, it's like, you know, it's pretty powerful. So it's probably not helpful. And then the phone, obviously, computer screens, all those things. But when I was young, I didn't really get made fun of for too many things, especially like my oldest brother, you know, like he was like my protector. So people really weren't going to say much, but amongst my own friends, younger guys that were like my age, not my older brother's friends or whatever, but I'd get made fun of for like the space between my teeth, but it never really bothered me. I was just like, it's just different. Like, I don't really care. I don't know. I don't remember it like hurting or anything. Where I got made fun of the most was just at home. You know, my brothers would always they'd always talk shit and make fun of me. And I would always end up crying about something. So I was a big crybaby. But I think later in life, I think that worked out to be like, I take things in stride more because I think maybe as a young kid, I think I worked them out already, you know? Yeah. And I think I told you guys the story of like my uncle. He just, I came in the house crying when I was at my grandmother's house. My grandmother's house was always this big ass like party. There's always tons of people there. Any excuse to be at my grandmother's house, my grandfather's house, we were there, and there was like 40 or 50 bells. And there would be kids outside playing basketball, wiffle ball, football, just all kinds of different stuff. Some kid doing something completely dangerous they shouldn't be doing, like trying to light something on fire. Somebody with a sledgehammer randomly, but the parents just my uncles and aunts and parents didn't care because we were occupied. You know, it's kind of like the modern day iPad, I guess, like modern day tablet or whatever. And so we were doing stuff and we were occupied, but like I would get kind of left out of something, or because I was the youngest in the entire family, even out of my cousins and stuff. You know, so like we'd play baseball or something and I wouldn't count because I'd always get out because I couldn't fucking hit the ball or whatever it was. Like I was just I was a little bit too young to try to participate, but I wanted to. And so I would always end up crying so much, you know, it's snot everywhere and the snot bubbles and all that stuff. And I remember going inside into my grandparents' house, and my uncle like took me to the window and he's like, everyone's outside. They're still playing, you know, there's still time to go out there and there's still like daylight out there. It's like, you want to stay in here and cry or do you want to go back out, you know? And I was like, I was kind of thinking like, fuck you. Like, I'm sad, you know, that whatever happened, it
Give
really,
me a hug.
Yeah, it really did hurt, you know? And he's like, well, it's up to you. And he just like walked away. And I was like, it's fucking right. I got a choice. I can go out there and play and have a good time still, or I can be in here and be a little bitch.
That was a really good uncle.
Yeah.
Shit. All mine just made fun of me for playing soccer. Like that was, I guess, I mean, it wasn't a roast, but like because I didn't play football, you know, because I didn't like fucking getting hurt and
People are
shit.
obsessed with football. Yeah.
And I was pretty good at soccer, but because they made fun of me for it, like I didn't want to play anymore. And, you know, which is fucking terrible, right? Like I could never imagine doing that to my nephew or nephews, being like, oh, that shit's whack. Like, I mean, they were really mean. So I'm like, I guess I'm going to stop playing this girly ass sport because they don't like it. I really wish I could like go back and be like, fuck you guys. I'm going to.
You have to go out for the football team and you have to get seriously injured.
Yeah.
That's going to make you fucking cool and legit.
It's gonna make you a man. It's gonna harden you up.
Yeah.
It's going to do so much for you later on in life.
Yeah, you're going to
paralyzed.
You're going to be a legend at Lee Junior High School.
Dog, seriously, nothing against football, but when I have a kid, if it's a boy, I'm not letting that boy play football. Straight fucking up, not letting him play football. This is just all the fucking. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take my mom's approach here.
Yeah.
She didn't let me play it for good reason. I'm not gonna let him.
What if
play
he
it for good
really
reason.
wants to play?
I don't give a fuck.
Especially from a young age. Like I think, like we've talked a little bit about this on the podcast before. Like we're trying to have kids like be cute and do shit that the bigger people do, like adults do, and they just don't have any business doing it yet.
Yeah.
And they actually might have business doing something way more dangerous, like jujitsu or something, or wrestling, or because you would think that those things would be like, oh man, like I don't want my young 4 or 5 year old boy like wrestling or doing jujitsu.
Yeah.
But it's like they're probably not really. You get one giant kid versus a smaller kid, maybe there's some issue, but they're not really going to probably hurt each other, especially with supervision.
And wrestling and jiu-jitsu are safer,
honestly,
when it comes to how people actually do the martial art than football.
Yeah, but you get like a 7-year-old who's kind of on the smaller side as like a running back, and you get a 7-year-old who's on the bigger side and he's like a linebacker.
On the sauce already?
Yeah, or
like Michael Trent's son.
Yeah.
Man.
Where you got to check their birth certificate.
They actually, when they were here, they actually just mentioned he's on small amount of growth hormone. That's all they said he was running now.
It's really
right?
strange that they said that.
I was like, that's
air.
a safe approach.
Yeah.
It's
It's
pretty
pretty
safer approach. Or was it IGF-1?
I think it was the growth hormone.
It was growth
hormone.
and Anavar.
Yeah, because they said he'll end up being.
I almost forgot about the Anavar,
Yeah.
but they said it was like 5 milligrams.
Yeah, so it's like negligible.
Yeah.
Is it really doing anything?
That's why he's going to end up being 6'9".
Speaking of being performance enhanced, I showed my son the other day something top secret.
Uh-oh.
The art of making a protein shake.
Oh.
It actually made me think, because I was like, yeah, like if you weren't taught it, you don't know it. He's like, I don't know nothing about protein shakes. He's like, what are these shaker cups about? Like, what do I do? And how do I mix it up? And, you know, I was like, well, pretty much add whatever liquid that you think would make it taste really good.
Powder or water first?
Just fucking shake it up. So I didn't realize how much goes into all this as I started to explain it, because I'm like, the cup it is critical the cup is dry. We need to start with a dry, like the bottom needs to be dry because you can put the powder in there and then you could put water on top of it and you can shake it up. But I said, if there's any moisture in the bottom, then you're screwed. So you might want to pour some liquid in, then put some powder in, then pour more liquid on top and then shake it up. And so I'm giving him this like whole dissertation. We're going back and forth and I'm telling him about the Keto Pro versus the steak shake and all this stuff. And we're going back and forth. And then he's like, he just stops for a second. He's like, what about ice? I was like, bro, ice brings a whole nother element to the whole thing. I was like, you got to kind of use ice like after you're already shaking it up, or you got to pour it like over ice because the ice, it will stick. It's like the powder a lot of times will stick to the ice. And then he just stops for a second. He's like, oh, okay. And then he goes, well, what about the blender? And I'm like, the blender is a whole nother category. It's like, we need a separate day. We're going to do a seminar.
Honestly, I think this is a great idea just for fun. Make the protein shake manifesto.
Yeah.
and just make it a free PDF.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different,
it's insane.
I wonder, because for me, when I make protein shakes, I do a little bit of water first.
Disclaimer, Nsima also farts from the time he wakes up all the way. I guess it doesn't stop when he goes to sleep.
I stay farting,
Farts all day, every day.
I stay shitting.
So his things may not be shaken up all the way.
All right, pause. I make good shakes. But anyway, I put water first, a little bit of water, maybe up into maybe this point right here. Then I put the powder in.
Oh.
Then if I have ice, I'll put a bit of ice in, and then I'll add more water over that. Because now the protein powder is in the middle of everything, so that when you shake it, there's no protein that ends up on your lid, or if you have one of the things on the, you know how it gets chunked up in the
protein on the lid. That's the worst. You open it up and you're not even paying attention. You're not really looking, and you take a sip
and you're inhaling. That. As far as protein shakes go, like that is the most infuriating thing ever, because it's like, how the fuck does this thing become impenetrable? You know what I mean? Like, it's powder. This is liquid. You would be like, oh, for sure, this powder's gonna get destroyed by this liquid. And the protein's like, nah, bro. Like, we're cement now, bitch. Ain't nothing breaking through this barrier, motherfucker. Try it, and you can shake it as hard as you want, and it is not going.
I think you guys would disagree with me, but I don't think that the shaker ball does anything.
Fuck no, it doesn't do anything.
Do you guys think it helps at all?
It does if you do my method.
But I think with your method, you don't need the ball.
With my method, if you just have ice, it works. But if you have the ball, it's an extra level of break-upness of the protein powder.
I just don't like.
Breaky-uppiness.
I don't like having to wash the ball.
Just rinse that shit.
I guess, but it's still gonna reek after a while.
Nsima just takes the entire tub of protein and puts it under the faucet, and then it shakes the whole thing up. It's like, bam, 400 grams of protein.
Yeah.
Actually, someone should try that. That sounds like an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Like, what if, because like with the within you protein, it's filled up. It's not filled up all the way. So what would happen if you just stuck some ice, filled it with as much water as possible, closed it,
delicious pudding,
and just shook it up? You'd have to go through it that day.
Shaking, yeah.
Lots of shaking.
It's like 900 grams of protein.
Yeah. Recently, I've been keeping it very simple, but I will add PB Fit to the chocolate within you protein. That's my shit. Anything peanut butter.
Let's bring up this video of Deep Cheeks making that disgusting egg white coffee fucking flaxseed.
Yeah.
Blow it out in the toilet or blow it out in a bathtub.
I have no idea. Is this John?
Yes.
Okay.
What is wrong? What is wrong with this man?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Why can't I think of his last name?
Water. Anderson. John Anderson.
There it is. Sorry.
God, I love that guy.
I wonder what that is actually his normal voice, because I've always wondered what is John Anderson's normal voice like, but that's just his voice.
That's his singing voice, yeah.
Does he post a fuck ton, or did I lose
I left him a message, and I was like, man, I love some of the stuff you're putting out. I was like, it's so fun, it's funny. And he like messaged me back. He's like, bro, let me know what you think is funny, because I'm not sure which one. I'm like, they're all like, I'm thinking, okay, this is even funnier. He doesn't really recognize that they're funny. And I was just like, I think I could picture people sharing these with each other, because he's a lot of fun, I think. Oh my God, he's disgusting.
So gross.
Don't tell me you don't have fucking time for breakfast. You can kill 2 fucking birds in 1 stone. You got basically your shaker, you got your cold brew coffee, my favorite. Boom.
Here's where it goes downhill right after this.
Now you got your egg whites. Protein source, whole food protein source.
Oh my God. No wonder why he's shitting himself all the time.
Dude. Oh, Jesus.
Next, you got flax seeds, which is
That'll really blow it out.
I already have to fart.
I'm thinking
I put a lot of flaxseed in there. Ew,
We
dog.
got caramel pecan. Pump that in there. 5,
Look at his
6,
finger.
7.
He's got the pinky out.
You've got
This is
Breakfast.
one of my favorite people in the whole world.
protein
He's so
coffee.
fun.
You've what, about 30 seconds? Don't fucking tell me you don't have time for a good goddamn breakfast.
50 years old. I think he's probably 280, 290. I don't know. 270, 280, somewhere in there. He's fucking just jacked out of his mind. Where's the one where he's on the couch with his wife? Not that one, I don't think.
I think it was
another one.
before.
It might be. I think you're heading in the right direction. There's like both sitting on the couch. They're not like right next to each other. He's just so gross. I love that he's always smoking a cigar like post workout.
Who was it? Chris Duffin that did whiskey with his.
Oh, yeah.
He'll drink. Well, he doesn't do that often. I think he only does that on birthdays.
Maybe
or
go
something.
back way up to the top. There's like he talks about this move that he does. There. Oh, that's probably it.
in the middle. He blows.
Yeah,
smoke.
probably there. Oh,
He blows snot rockets in the house. Yes.
I wasn't sure what she was going to say when we were starting to film this video, but now I do, and I guess I better start defending myself.
No.
Well,
Own it.
but well, I'm going to own it. But the bottom line is, we don't have a single fucking carpet in either one of our houses. We have tile floors and cement floors, so
Doesn't make it
I'm
okay.
not wrecking any carpets. That's the first thing I have. The second thing I have to say, why do I do it? Fuck, I don't know, because I can.
There are lots of things you can do you don't need to do.
he just blows
Blowing
snot out of his
in your
nose.
house
Just,
is fun.
I don't have another reason, so that's the fucking reason. I have 2 pit bulls that come
Take
behind
it.
me
And they lick
get
it.
off the floor.
Oh, dog.
oh, John,
Not
come on,
okay.
buddy.
There's a lot of things that's really okay to do as a guy, like go into the bathroom, pee, touch your. You don't have to wash your hands after you pee. You should after you poop. That,
A bit much.
dude.
Oh, I wish we could find the other clip. But anyway, basically, he was just telling us. Oh, maybe it's the one where she's got the white on right there.
He farts.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
Jesus.
This is how to live like a man.
He farts on my head. He farts in my hair.
Why does he laugh?
Well, when the opportunity arises, I must say that I'm just like a fucking lion pouncing on a wounded fucking zebra. I take the opportunity. Usually what'll happen is I'm laying on the couch, which is rare. Usually just the tail end of my day, I'll kind of decompress. She'll come and lay in between my legs.
Big mistake by her.
I like to
I
cuddle.
recognize the opportunity, so what I'll do is I'll slowly sneak one of my legs around, lock it in, and then she can't
Pulls
get
in,
away. And then
and he pulls me in
I'll blow
closer
ass.
to the sphincter.
I'll blow ass and pow, there it is. And she flops around like
Then
a
I
fish out of water.
wash my hair.
She flops around
Wash
like
it
a fish out of
Poop
water,
particles in my hair.
trying to get away.
It's like marking territory.
Yeah, now for
That's all it is.
And Nsima, what do you think about that? I mean, it sounds like he's kind of using like a jujitsu move.
Yeah, no, I imagined what he did. He kind of put her into there's a head triangle movement that you can do. And it's not a normal triangle, but you literally just smash your opponent's head in between your legs and they have trouble getting it out. You could choke them that way.
And you could fart perfectly
You can also fart.
and just kill somebody basically with it.
That is one of the worst things in jiu-jitsu, though. There's this north-south position where, your butt's on top of their face. And I have accidentally farted on people in that position.
You
wasn't
fart
on
a lot.
purpose, though.
You fart a lot in jujitsu, right? Because of the pressure.
You could. If someone puts their knee on your belly and you're having trouble, that absolutely happens to people.
You're like, whoops.
Yeah.
Anyway, give our buddy John, give him a follow.
Yeah.
Old time strongman guy. He's a lot of fun. He's just, I don't understand why he's so gross and wacky, but he just is, and I love him for it.
I was just happy I took that picture right there. Sean Baker.
Which one is Sean? Oh, yeah, that was Sean
Deadlifting.
Baker.
Anyway.
Oh, man.
And right, I think I've told you guys before that John used to run the I'm not sure if I'm saying this correctly, but I think it's Lancashire stairs. They're like famous. Like there's these famous stairs out by where he lives.
Oh, wow.
Out by where he used to live. And like CrossFitters and all these like fitness enthusiasts and, runners, all these like people they're always excited to like run them. And John is running with his shirt off in like full spandex, like short or pants or whatever. And he would like, because he's in such good shape, he has really good cardiovascular conditioning, especially from years ago when he's doing strongman. And he'd like run past everybody and just sitting there, he's just laughing. He's like, ah, ha, 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 ha. He's like, nice day for a run. And he's like cruising past people. It's like, holy shit, he's like 300 pounds running those stairs.
He's a fucking cartoon character.
Where was this at? Do you remember?
Lancashire?
I think it's called Lancashire stairs.
Oh, by the way, how did you feel about getting roasted by Stan Efferding? Did you see
No.
What?
There's a post that Stan Efferding put up a few days ago. I was like, oh, Mark's got to love this.
Is the Rhino coming out? Somebody posted, I think they put some stuff in my comment section. Some people are like, you got beef with Rhino or something. And I was like, I don't remember having any beef with Rhino.
It's the second post on Stan's page. Andrew, you got to pull this shit up.
Live reaction.
Just before we even see this, Stan has always made fun of me. It's his favorite thing.
Yeah.
I was having even more fun with it.
I don't even remember making that video.
Come on.
I can only imagine now that I'm
Not
seeing.
necessarily just to be stronger. I just want to feel better and move better in my day-to-day life. This exercise right here helps a lot. Getting full range squats in like this.
And the caption says, kids, don't be this guy.
You embarrass yourself.
Kids, don't be this guy. Your dick will fall off.
I just want to feel better and move better in my day-to-day life. This exercise right here helps a lot.
That's amazing. Thanks, Rhino.
Rhinoceros.
You didn't see this, huh?
No.
Oh, man.
No, but I was wondering, like, because in my comment section, people were talking. They were like, "Oh, Rhino said something about." And I was like, I don't even know what they're talking about.
Yeah. He's out here roasting you, man.
Dude, that's fucked up, Stan. Stan, I challenge you to a. Nope, never mind.
He'll win.
Don't have any idea on something I could. Stan actually would probably be a really proficient runner too.
Former soccer player.
I wouldn't be surprised if he would be like. It might take him. He might have to fucking practice it for a minute. But he actually sprints and stuff. You guys seen him on the treadmill?
Oh, it's on the overspeed?
Yeah, he's cruising on the treadmill, and he's I want to say I saw him run maybe something like 15, 16 miles an hour or something like that.
Wow.
Our boy Graham got clocked running, I think 20, I want to say, around 20 miles an hour.
That's pretty good, right? How did he track it? Was it the overspeed treadmill?
So he was doing it on a track. And when he went to San Diego and he visited David Weck, somebody had like some sort of device where you can see the miles per hour. And I was like, damn, and the guy that he was working with said, he's like, that's pretty fucking fast.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a matter of sustaining it, as Andrew found out today. Trying to sustain a pace can be pretty difficult.
Yeah, that long hill really got me. I don't know if you know which one we're talking about. Nsima, it's got like 2 paths.
I know what you're talking about.
That's it. I'm like, all right, here we go. And I'm like, it's still going. We're still going upwards.
That one is. That
tough.
one's like a slow grade, but it goes on for a while.
Would have been great to talk more about running if my boy Sam Okunola showed up. I'm roasting you on the air, Sam.
Ouch.
I wanted you to be here.
Where's Samuel?
He's at home with his family. Like, what the fuck?
God,
with his 2 daughters and his wife.
He's got some cute kids. I don't blame him.
Yeah, he does. Sam, I'm roasting you, but guys, you should go. I've mentioned him multiple times.
We'll get him out here.
We'll get him out here.
We'll make it work.
Former world championship natural bodybuilder, and he's running now too. He's doing a lot of cool
Is
shit.
he pretty tall?
He's my height. He's like
He
6'2".
seems pretty tall. Because like when I've seen some videos of him running, I'm like, he's got like really nice fucking stride going.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's got long, sexy legs.
Yeah. And Sam, he does have long legs. He has a really good build. I don't know what sport he played when he was a younger kid, but he's been really getting into running recently.
I think I saw this. He's got like a vest on or something, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he's wearing a flag nor fail.
Oh.
Shout out to the Baileys.
So
those are nice to run. The overpasses, those are actually really nice. They're usually like a a little ramp, a little hill.
Why do you guys think we're noticing these trends? Because, okay, so for running, right? I remember Nick started doing it a few years ago, but I've been seeing an influx after you too.
Yeah.
I've been seeing an influx of bodybuilders or strength athletes, Meg squats, now getting into running.
Shout out to Meg Squats, by the way. She
Yeah.
looks fucking incredible.
Yeah.
She did such a good job. I think she's in the best shape I've ever seen her in.
Damn.
Let me pull her up. Or
She looks
post-
fucking great.
pull her up.
Like,
Post pregnancy too.
I thought she looked great when she was doing powerlifting, and I know she's made some different decisions in terms of like how she was lifting and how she was exercising, and sometimes when you're powerlifting, you're lifting more for the actual result of the heavier lifts you're doing. And then post pregnancy, she just decided, hey, I'm going to get in some crazy shape, and it's cool. She talks about it all. She talks about the journey. I mean, that's got to be some fuckery to get pregnant and then to like try to figure out what to do with your body after that.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife deals with that shit right now because she'll look at pictures, right? Like right before, she was like pretty much in like the best shape she's had ever been in. And then, she gets pregnant and now she's like, I just want to go back to that. I'm like, well, you already have that. So, just, you'll be fine.
Well, your wife's a real gangster because she had a baby a long time ago too.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Damn, that's Meg now.
Yeah. She fucking looks amazing.
She damn. Yeah,
She's
she looks
funny
really
too
good.
because she's like, I learned these poses and here I am like trying to crank through them.
Yeah, good for her. No, but that's it's really cool. Like seeing all these people that look like. I think her focus used to be powerlifting when she initially stepped in, but she got into a bunch of other different types of fitness. Now she's doing running, and I'm seeing that from a lot of people that had a focus on one single thing. They're starting to kind of not drop what they were doing, but they're branching out into other forms of staying healthy and fitness.
I wonder if Bart runs. I know that he used to, like for military stuff a while back, and
Go to Men's Health. Yeah. Did you see the post?
I saw the post, but I don't know anything else. I don't know much about it.
I just like that he's naked.
Yeah, I just like naked Bart. But wait, what?
Oh, they have so many. Which one was it?
You'll just see one. There's only one Batquan.
No, but I'm saying like there's like a million men.
I know years ago too, Rob Bailey was on a mission doing quite a bit of running. And you see Matt Vincent is doing a lot of cycling.
Yeah.
And Matt did like, I don't even know if it was like a run necessarily. He did this like crazy trail hike thing that he did a while back. And I want to say it was like 30 miles or something crazy. He didn't like run the whole thing, but it was like after his many knee operations and shit. Like that's, I think people are just looking for different challenges. I think the pandemic may have played into it a bit because, people are like, fuck, I need to figure out something outside, I guess. Like, there's no gym. So maybe people can't ban me from fucking running around my house. So try to figure out something different. And I think we're just learning more.
There's Bart, Men's Health. He's fully naked.
Schlong. Just hanging around.
Yeah.
Out.
As he's throwing punches and kicks.
Dick out.
He also does, he did a lot of martial arts too. He's done some jujitsu. He's done some boxing. Where are all these other naked fellers?
There's a lot of naked dudes.
It's crazy to have seen that post, and it says that he's like 37, not like 37's old, but it's funny because Bart and I met so long ago, and I've always just kind of I admired what he's done with all his different businesses and stuff, but I just always have thought of him as like younger. So to see him like having a kid and just doing all the different things that he's doing, it's just fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's cool, but it's also a little weird. It's like, shit, I'm starting to think that he's getting old. What does that say about me?
Power Project fam, this episode is brought to you by Vivo Barefoot Shoes. We've been wearing these shoes for almost a year now. They're flexible. They have a wide toe box. They allow your feet to get connected to the ground, and they will make your feet stronger, and they don't look like shit like a lot of these other barefoot shoes. Andrew, how can they get them?
For the best barefoot shoes on the planet, and they also look really, really good, head over to vivobarefoot.com/Power Project. At checkout, enter promo code PowerProject20 to save 20% off. Again, vivobarefoot.com/Power Project, promo code PowerProject20 to save 20% off. Links to them down in the description as well as the podcast show notes. Let's go ahead and get back to this podcast.
No, man. No, not going to be a broken record, but that age thing's a number, bro.
Oh,
You really like 50 nowadays, since we know how to take care of ourselves, is not what 50 used to be. Same with 60.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've seen too many jacked ass, moving well 70-something-year-olds that have just kept it as part of their life that it's just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know?
To answer, or I mean, not to answer your question, but to give you my thought on like why we're seeing more shit in general, I can just tell you for me personally, again, it's just like that basic human ability. Like, should I be able to run a mile at a decent pace or like not be fucking totally shot? Like, I think I should be able to do that.
Yeah.
But where it really comes from, and it's funny, I was actually talking to DJ, David Webb, our boy.
He's been running.
So he's been running for a long ass time.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I posted that I was running, he's like, oh, dude, good job. And so we were going back and forth and we had the exact same thought. And it's like, if I'm at the park and something happens, that one time I take my eye off my son for 1 second, somebody takes him. And then like, am I going to have to be, and I know this is like very dramatic, but like, am I going to have to explain to the cops, explain to my wife that like, I tried to chase him down, but like I popped a hamstring because I was really focused on making my legs look good for Instagram. Like, what a shitty thing like that would be. Like, or I ran that motherfucker down and like, you know, here he is, go arrest him. Like, so just like basic things like that for me is like why I'm like, yeah, I should really address this. Cause I just think myself and a bunch of people in the, I'll just call them like the like bros in the gym. They're like, I don't want to lose my gains. So I'm not going to go running, or, you know, Mike Isertel doesn't do it, so I'm not going to do it. Studies, whatever fucking old bodybuilders say, like, oh, just do a walk on the incline. That's all you need. Do the Stairmaster. That's how the pros did it. I just think
It's more optimal.
It's more optimal. And I think we've just been lying to ourselves by like avoiding running because it's like hard. And I don't think anybody wants to admit it, you know? And so like for me, that's why I've been picking it up.
An interesting thing with something like running is that, you know, people just want to put stuff in categories right away. So they want to say, this is aerobic and this is anaerobic. And anaerobic is supposed to be without oxygen. If you're not used to running and you go to run, you tell me, is it aerobic or anaerobic? You're going to find out quickly that you have a really fucking hard time breathing, even running for like 40 seconds. And if you don't have a hard time breathing running for 40 seconds, if you just pick up the pace, doesn't matter who you are, you will have a hard time breathing after running for even 20 seconds, regardless of who you are, if you just pick up the speed, if you just run a little faster. So there's a lot of great things that can come from some running. I think what we're seeing right now is just some blowback. Like there's been a lot of cool sports and there's been a lot of cool things for people to do. Bodybuilding was kind of the main thing in terms of like, I guess like what people knew, and Arnold and Joe Weider and that whole movement. And it brought us a lot of the stuff that we see in the gym. And it brought us a very particular culture that stood around for a really long time. You had like Muscle Beach back in the day, and the kind of invention of exercises and, you know, bench pressing back before there was like an actual bench press like device that had a place for the barbell. They used to just hand it to each other and they would be on a utility bench. And the utility bench they could do rows off of and they can bench press off of and stuff. But then there became more and more specific equipment that was like, hey, this is for this. This is where you squat. This is kind of where you deadlift. This is where you do this. And all these things got made up, and people started to associate them with specific results. Oh, stiff leg deadlift works your lower back, works your glutes, works your hamstrings, all these different movements. And then, you know, you started to see there was some functional stuff that happened maybe like about 2 decades ago, but it got buried. It like came around for a little while and then it like left. T-Nation was really popular. There was a guy named Ian King. There was also a handful of other people. I'm losing some people's names at the moment, but there was Pavel with the kettlebells, and there was a lot of movement through some of those things, but it didn't like, it was like niche. It didn't really stick. Then there was kind of like the West Side stuff, which rose up pretty strongly. And Louis, you know, is a really powerful character, so he was able to make some of the powerlifting stuff rise to the top. And powerlifting took shape and took form, and all the way to the point where you see it pretty regularly. All the way to the point where CrossFit had me and Jesse Burdick teaching powerlifting to CrossFitters around the country. It's a certification course for CrossFit, for the CrossFit affiliates and stuff like that. So you saw all that stuff come around. Some people decided to dive all in on CrossFit. Some people decided to dive all in on powerlifting. And there were some people that dove all in on bodybuilding, but bodybuilding is so fucking hard. You know, how many bodybuilding shows are you going to do before you recognize how fucking hard it really is? And even if you toy around with bodybuilding, you'll probably recognize it's so hard you won't even try. Like you won't even you won't even ever compete. So somebody asks you what you do, you're like, I'm a bodybuilder, but you're not really a bodybuilder because you never step on stage. You're not really participating in the full aspect of the sport. You're just
sport of bodybuilding. Yeah.
You're playing around with some bodybuilding in the gym, which is just a different thing, right? And then some of those powerlifters, some of those CrossFitters started getting banged up, started getting hurt. And I think a lot of people started to maybe think, maybe there's some other shit I should be doing. Like maybe I should have some other concerns other than how much weight I can clean and what my Murph time is and what my squat is and what my bench is. Like maybe I should see if I can work on other things so that in my pursuit for working on other things, I could become fit, but I could also feel good during the day. Feel good and look good. And so I think a lot of people, like in the effort that they had, maybe coming off of sports when they're young, they got caught in the same trap of like making it too competitive and making it too difficult and a little too hard. My wife was a competitive swimmer for a long time, and every once in a while I'll encourage her, like, hey, maybe you should think about because I just want her to I want her to be happy and I want her to be excited,
Yeah.
So every once in a while I'm like, maybe you should compete, maybe see if your friends. She's like, it's over. I don't do that, So they'll find challenges to do instead, because she knows, and her and I will talk about it. Like, yeah, same thing with me. Like if I can't just go do a deadlift meet. It just doesn't work that way. I can't just go and bench randomly. I could, but it's going to put me back into the same trap. I'm going to get obsessed with the numbers. I'm going to feel good for a little bit. I'm going to lift good for a little bit, but then I'm going to feel fucked up all over again. So I think that's kind of what we saw. We saw a lot of people not necessarily getting injured, but just not feeling great. People are in tons of fucking pain, and they're like, maybe if I can have a little bit more balance to where I can play some sports on the weekend and I can go in and lift some weights here and there, maybe I would just feel better and be able to do a lot of stuff easier without pain.
Yeah. At the end of the day, the whole aspect of trying to be healthy and having a level of fitness isn't just to look super big or super muscular or be super strong with a barbell. It's also to feel good on a daily basis. I mean, and that's outside of being in the sport of powerlifting. Ideally, I think you could be a powerlifter and not have to be in pain. I don't think that has to come with the territory. I also think you could be a good bodybuilder and not be in crazy amounts of pain. There are just certain things you got to add to your training. But for most of us, including myself, I want to be able to do all of these things. And I think that goes, I'm speaking for all of us here. We want to be able to do all these things, be strong, be mobile, all that things. And we want to be able to do this while feeling good every single day. And to do that, you don't need to add in a crazy amount of things. I guess you just need to kind of restructure what your goals are and make a few additions to your current training routine so that those things are involved. A kind of example is if you're trying to build a lot of muscle, right? That's cool. And you can do a lot of isolation work, but maybe add in some things that increase the range of motion for certain movements that you're doing so that you can really get strong in those deep ranges and you're not super stiff and moving around in that way. If you do some of those additions, you're probably going to feel a little better as you're gaining muscle. It might not be as optimal for building the most amount of muscle possible. Fucking optimal geeks. But it'll be great for your movement.
Is there an Instagram handle Optimal Prime?
Is there?
That would be great. We should get that.
Yeah, something that's forgotten about optimizing things is just things that you enjoy. Because part of being optimal would be things that you can be consistent to and be attracted enough to where you have a little bit of a body of work with it. If you are if you're interested enough in squats and interested enough in smashing gigantic weights in a squat, then you will do all the things that are necessary to ensure that you can squat more weight on top of making sure that you're healthy enough to be able to perform that. Because if you only last for a year, then you're going to make it to squatting like 365 or something if you're lucky. So it has to be, you have to be, the deeper that you're interested in it, the more likely you are to follow through with more things that are going to allow you to hang on for longer periods of time. Therefore, you may not be choosing something that's necessarily quote unquote optimal, but you wouldn't really know any other way because it's what you chose to do. So there's certain guys like John Hack where you're like, I don't know exactly even what he's doing. He's just lifting really heavy every time he trains. And it's like a lot of heavy singles, doubles, triples. Shit, like, you ever see the guy do a set of 6 or a set of 5? If he does them, like, I haven't seen him on his Instagram, you know, and I'm sure like he's sharing out certain things on Instagram, but is what he's doing optimal, or is he just chasing after what he feels in his heart to be like kind of the right decision for the day and what he feels best with?
You know what? I mean, on the devil's advocate of the optimal side, right? Where let me, I want to entertain the optimal bros for a little bit and the optimal evidence-based bros real quick. There are certain movements that mechanically may have certain muscle groups fire a little bit more, that also mechanically might be able to have you push more weight than other movements would allow you to. And if your only goal is to build as much muscle as humanly possible in the shortest amount of time, maybe you should only focus on those specific movements. But on the other side of things, if you have a goal of having joint range of motion, if you have the goal of being strong in different areas so that you don't have as many weaknesses, if you have the goal of trying to have a bit more mobility so you don't move like you have a stick up your ass and you're made of fucking tin, maybe, just maybe, you might do these non-optimal movements that aren't approved by your favorite trainers with much lighter load, so you can maybe work on some of those movement inefficiencies in those really weak ranges of motion. Kind of similar to some of the things that our boy Mike O'Hearn does. The guy does fucking lateral raises, and Mark, you've mentioned these, but he literally does the raises and he brings them all the way up here. But he also, at this point, he can load it very heavy because he's been developing that over years. But most of the evidence-based bros would be like, the range of motion for the lateral raise should be right here. There's no reason biomechanically to come all the way up here. It's not building any extra muscle. Well, look at the way he moves and look at the way you move.
Yeah, you could just at me next time because I actually did publish that video.
Oh, you did? Hey!
Yeah, I was just, again, the shit that I learned from Doug Brignoli about like, once your arm goes here and if you go further than that, then like your whole scap is actually turning.
I wasn't even talking to you when I was...
No, but I'm joking. I don't give a fuck. I'm just having fun with it.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, one thing that like, I don't know if you guys think this is important, but something that I've been doing with like everything I'm doing is I ask myself for what, so like we went running today and like, I want to get better at running. Okay, Andrew, you want what, for what? And I'm like, well, because, I want to catch somebody if they try to steal my son. But if somebody is like, or I'll take myself, like, oh, I want to be able to deadlift 315. It's like, okay, for what? Because the deadlift is the king lift and I want to be cool. It's like, okay, well, there's chicks that like can double that now, right? Like, that they're all going to smoke you and they're natural athletes and shit, so it's like, okay, for what? I'm like, okay, maybe I should have asked myself that a long time ago before I fucked up my back.
Yeah, you're in a comparison merry-go-round, which might not be the best.
That too, yeah. Might
not be the best place for you to be in, right? Like if you're running, again, is like somebody that has no experience running can very quickly recognize like, I'm not very good at this. And I would like to improve and be a little bit better at it. I think you can get the same thing from lifting. You can lift and be like, wow. It's one thing not to know what you're doing and stuff and to be apprehensive and to be shy about like going into a gym. Like those things are crippling and it sucks that people are there. But That's where a lot of people are. So hopefully people have confidence enough to go into a gym or to have someone show them the right way or help them. But when we get into comparison, it's really an evil motherfucker. And it's like way worse than what we even think. I think that sometimes people will say something like, you'll hear things thrown around pretty easily, like, oh, you know, run like a 7-minute mile or something, like a 7-minute mile pace for 5 miles or something. Mm-hmm. Like that is really like, first of all, the person that's saying that, unless they've been running for a while, they're probably lying. Like that's like really fucking fast.
It's quite fast.
It's really fast. Remember we ran with a guy who was like running like an 8:30?
Yeah.
Remember that day?
I almost
that guy was
died.
Yeah, that guy was flying. And, you know, maybe to keep up with him for a little while, maybe it wouldn't be too bad. I mean, we just said hi to him for 5 seconds and then we
couldn't
died.
catch up.
Yeah, he was really cruising. But comparison is really an evil bastard. And like, even just for myself, it's like, I got to just take a step back and rethink stuff. It doesn't make any sense. Like I'm tight in comparison to what? In comparison to who? In comparison to me, I'm fine. All I have to do is improve upon where I'm at. That's all that matters. I don't have to be, you know, more flexible or more mobile in the eyes of everybody else. I might need it or want it for myself. And so therefore I just need to fucking a tiny degree more. Maybe I don't have to like stretch for 30 minutes every night or something. Maybe just periodically throughout the day, if I do a little, I'll be a little bit better than I was yesterday.
But Mark, real quick question, man, on the idea of comparison. Don't you think it's more perception based? Because like you probably in your mind size people up, size things up, size up things that they're doing. You're like, I can probably get myself to that. And you probably do compare it to what you're at currently and you're not there yet. But it doesn't pull you out of things negatively and make you just not want to do it, right?
Right. Yeah, no, it's definitely a perception and definitely depends on how you look at it. But to have it be, you know, something that's negative or to have you start to get kind of a mind virus wrapped around it where you're like, well, I don't know if I'll ever be able to do that. And then so therefore you just don't get momentum towards something.
Yeah.
You're better off just being like, and then, you know, again, back to what Andrew was saying about like, why? Like, what are you doing this for? Like, I gave Andrew 3 different options with the run today. I was like, we can try to just run the whole thing. We can go whatever pace you want to go at. We could walk, jog, and run periodically throughout the whole thing and maybe end up with like 10 runs. And then he told me what his goal was. His goal was just to be able to run 3 to 5 miles without it like feeling like it's killing him. And I was like, well, I think the walk, jog, run will probably be, you know, our best option. So we settled in on that. So to try to think about what is this for? You know, what are you trying to do? Like Zach Bitter set world records in ultra marathons. Zach Bitter has a hard time like bending, hip hinging from the waist to like bend downward.
Yeah.
That requirement of being able to, you know, sit back into your hamstrings and be able to move real fluently the way that you would think somebody would move, that's a pretty proficient runner, isn't really a requirement of that sport. Not saying that he should ignore it and not have it at all. And he doesn't ignore it. He trains it and he works on it. And he's always working on getting better. But again, it's like, if your concentration is in this particular realm and this is the thing that you want to do and you're interested in it, you will go after it so hard, it'll be to the detriment of other stuff. And you have to be kind of okay with that. But it's also to the detriment of that other stuff just for a little while. It also doesn't have to be to the detriment of those other things. However, it most likely would take you longer, or you might need to be more reasonable with your goals, and you might fall a little shy of your goal. I'm not saying that you can't get there. You could, but it might just take a little longer.
I think real quick, that's what you said there, that there's a key there. The key is the amount of time it's going to take. If you're a bodybuilder and you're like, I want to build the most amount of muscle possible, you can do that while feeling really good, but you probably need some things in your training that allow you to do a little bit more range of motion, that allow you to work on mobility, that just allow for you to move well. so that as you're going towards that direction of gaining as much muscle possible, you're not in pain. Same thing with a power lifter. You have to build a level of stiffness and strength, but you probably should take some time to do some of this mobility, to do some of your accessories that are going to push you to different ranges, just so that you have a good ability of movement and just so that your joints have some good ability of movement outside of the barbell. Will it take you a little bit longer to try to get to that 600 or 700 pound squat? Yeah, but you'll probably feel better while heading in that direction, and you'll probably have a bit more longevity than those who try to. I think the best example is what's his name?
JP Price?
Is it not JP Price?
JL Holdsworth?
JL Holdsworth.
Just like you did channel that in my head somehow. That was
Dude,
weird.
you did.
Yeah, JL Holdsworth.
Don't do that ever again.
But you knew exactly what was
Make me
going
say all
on.
kinds of crazy shit on here.
If you guys saw the video.
That was amazing. He did a Jedi mind trick on me.
Don't ever do that again.
What else can he do? Fuck. That's not good.
Yeah, but
I want out. Let's end it here.
He even said that his powerlifting career was like I think he put it like a blaze of fire. No, not like a burning
Something
flame,
like that,
something like that. Because he went super hard and he did some crazy numbers, but there wasn't anything to allow him to pull back and to work on his body. So he got injured and had to dip.
Yeah, and then I remember asking him, like, but JL, it worked. You got gyms and you have, you did have your success in powerlifting, and now you transition and you're a fucking businessman and you're successful. And I forgot what he said, but I think it was something along the lines of like, yeah, I'm like one of how many though? Like not a lot of people make it out this way.
Yeah.
Or he had to do a lot of self-work because, yeah, he was pretty fucked up.
I also think the cool thing though is, okay, like Mark, you said, if you're heading towards these things, it's fine if you're heading towards them. And it might just be for a while. There are a lot of guys, though, because they haven't built other capacities and because they haven't built necessarily other capacities outside of whether it's bodybuilding or powerlifting. And it's great if you love it, but they're still heading in that same direction without anything else. And maybe from the outside looking in, it looks like it's to be to their detriment, but you can't say if somebody enjoys something so much and that's what they like, it might not be detrimental, even though it might be fucking with their body. So it might not be detrimental, but you just bench 315 without having pain. You can now run, you have better mobility. So you're going back to the barbell, but now feeling better.
Yeah, and just like, I don't know, what are things going to look like when I'm 50? Like at the moment, I'm not squatting. I'm not really deadlifting that often, but will I mess with those things again? Yeah, sure I will. And how cool will it be to be 50 and to be able to do a couple sets of 5 or a couple sets of 10 with 315 on a squat or deadlift, bench press, or maybe even have another plate on there for squats or deadlifts or something like that. Yeah, if you kind of just think about it like you're trying to play the long game. I know if you're younger, you're like, fuck that, I'm going for it. And that's okay. I think you just have to kind of recognize that, you might be leaving some other things behind. And again, I would also question your, I would question your level of commitment, because if you're not committed the whole thing, you're not committed all the way. And you might think that you're committed all the way, but you're still not. So like for me, my squat went from 943 to 1,080 from meeting Kelly Starrett.
And that was it. It didn't take long for that to happen either, right?
No, it took like a week. No, it took like 2 or 3 years. Yeah, it didn't take very long. You're talking about that amount of weight.
Yeah.
When you're already at that level, and a lot of that just had to do with me just incorporating some mobility stuff. But it was also specific mobility stuff to where it was something that allowed me to move a little bit better just for the particular day. And it was just enough. It was just the right thing. It was just the right thing at the right time. But if you're not fully committed, you won't see those opportunities. You're going to be closed off to those opportunities because you get fixated into your ways. And you sometimes, and I was that way. I needed specifically Kelly Starrett to kind of come into my life at that point and be the guy to deliver the message, even though other people came in and tried to deliver it too.
Yeah.
Louis would talk about stuff like that all the time. After me, every time, you got to rebuild. You got to get away from the bench. You got to get away from the squat. You got to get away from the deadlift. You got to be on the sled, the reverse hyper, the glute ham raises. You got to do ab work. And no one would ever listen to him because everyone was such in a rush. But if you were taking your time, and we're going to have Matt Wenning back out here coming up. And like Matt is somebody that's been around for a long time. Can Matt still throw 700 pounds on his back raw and fucking dunk it and squat it with no problem? Easy, I would say. What did he squat, 500 for 20-something reps or whatever the other day, right?
Yeah. Did he break the Tom Platz record?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember, but
I think he broke the Tom Platz
record.
Yeah,
he fucking did a great job. It was unbelievable. And the guy can still, bench 500 for reps and things like that. And it's the only way to like hang around for a long time is to keep your eyes open. And Stan Hefferding's still lifting heavy. I don't know why Stan is doing movements that I did 10 years ago and why he's using so much less weight, but he's still doing some of these things.
A for effort.
A for effort, yeah.
Now, I see him doing those suspended good mornings. Those exercises are a real motherfucker.
Yeah.
But that is a great movement. That movement is a really smart movement because it's a way to incorporate kind of a bastardized version of a squat and a deadlift all in kind of one movement. But he's crushing those, man. I want to say he did one with 5 plates the other day.
Wow, wait up. Yeah, I think it is 5 plates. He's probably making a lot of sound too. We got to play the audio here.
Yeah, we all have stolen the Stan Efferding noises. Yep.
Is he going to blow up? Like, is he about to explode? Because he gets redder and redder as the set goes by.
Oh, his head, yeah.
He's getting red, bro. He's like a fucking crayon right now. Jesus.
Got no audio. Boo.
Really?
I'll give him a like, though.
Oh, maybe there's like music on there or something.
All right, Andrew.
Dude, the Rhino's back is like something different, man. That
he's got extra meat.
Those lats are attached like so low. They're
Look
like
at that butt.
Oh, hey, look at those glutes. Peeps, if you're not following the Rhino, you got to follow him because a lot of people need to know about this diet.
All right, Andrew, we got to play the video again. Let me, when you say start it up again, and let me know when you start it.
Oh, you got the noise?
Oh, this one?
I got the sound, yeah.
I guess
let me know when it's about to restart.
Well, fuck, I don't know.
Just.
Right.
Wait for it. Now.
There. Oh, God.
I just think that's great sound.
Was that from this video or a different one?
That's from that video.
How come I don't have it?
Because I don't know why you don't have it, but I did. So I played it a little bit. Yeah, his back is just so
now it's working.
Thick and meaty.
Well, fuck it, it's over. But
Stan is incredible. He makes such weird. Oh, there's my post.
Which one?
Your post is that second post.
Dude, what's going on in Stan Efferding's life where he just felt so sad where he had to lash out against me like that?
It's like Mark used to be so great. Now he's squatting with kettlebells.
He's like, this is bullshit.
Bedros also made fun of you for that shit too. He's like,
know.
It's like you bitch ass kettlebells.
Yeah, he did not like kettlebells.
He was like, fuck kettlebells. That's funny.
Yeah, man.
I don't know, Mark. How familiar were you with Bill Pearl?
Look at the fucking arms on that. And Bill Pearl.
Yeah. The only reason why this came on my radar
92
was because he was, I believe, the first guy that like gave Doug Brignoli a break. Was just like, hey, come train at my gym, whatever you got to do, and then you can work there for free or work out there for free or some shit like that. But no, I just saw Matt Wenning had posted it as well, so I just wanted to ask you before we dipped out.
My parents went to a trade show. My wife used to work for a company called Fitness Management Magazine. And when she was working there would be these like fitness expo things where there would be Life Fitness, Hammer Strength, all these companies would be there. And Bill Pearl was there, and he was with like Hammer Strength or somebody like that. And my dad doesn't know nothing, he's like looking around, checking out all the equipment. And he sees this older guy who's in really good shape. This is like 15 years ago. Actually, maybe even a little longer ago.
Yeah.
And my dad's kind of sizing him up. My dad's like, shit, like this fucking guy's probably every bit the same age as me, if not maybe even older. And he's like, excuse me, sir. He's like, you work for these guys? And he goes, yeah, I'm Bill Pearl. I used to be a pro bodybuilder, and I help this company out and we help outfit gyms and stuff like that. And my dad's like, he's like, shit, you're in incredible shape. My dad's like, talking to him about lifting and stuff. And anyway, I see my dad like maybe an hour later, and my dad's like, yeah, he's like, I was at that booth over there, and I was talking to some old guy. He's like, he's really built. Like, he looks crazy.
Yeah.
He's like, his name is like Bill something, Bill Pearl. Like, he's just saying, I'm like, Bill Pearl's a legend. That's a legendary bodybuilder. Like, that's not just some ordinary guy like working the booth,
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
92 years old though, like that. Shit.
Yeah.
Good for him.
That's wild.
I'm not sure if I got my names wrong, but I'm not sure. Is it Bill Pearl or Bill Starr, the 5 Set to 5 guy? One of those guys is responsible for the 5 Set to 5, I think.
5-star nutrition you're talking about?
Five set to 5 reps.
Oh, 5.
Yeah. 5 set to 5 reps.
5-star.
I don't know. Can you look that up?
That Walmart
Is
protein.
Is that look upable?
Yeah. Who created 5 sets of 5?
Yeah, I could be. Maybe I'm way off. Maybe it's neither guy.
The famous 5x5.
I mean, it might have been created by somebody, but I think it was made famous by one of those guys, Bill Pearl or Bill Starr. Maybe Bill Starr is more of a
Bill Starr.
Okay, yeah, he was more of a power lifter.
Fuck yeah, Google. That's
There
how
we
we
go.
do. Yeah.
All right, Andrew, you want to take us on out of here?
Absolutely. So thank you everybody for checking out today's episode. Please drop us some comments down below. We would sincerely appreciate that. And please like the video and subscribe if you guys are not subscribed already. But yeah, for sure, drop those comments down below. And please follow the podcast at MB Power Project on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. My Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter is at I am Andrew Z Nsima.
And if I was totally mistaken and the website isn't up right now, my bad. It'll be up soon.
Yeah.
At Nsima
But they
Inyang.
didn't hear it if it's not up. Sorry.
Yeah, or they may have. But anyway, guys, Devil Pussy mug coming soon. Devil Pussy in the front, and on the back it says, "Don't get trapped by Devil Pussy." At Nsima Inyang on Instagram and YouTube, at Nsima Inyang on TikTok and Twitter, and join the Discord.
So the devil pussy's coming soon.
Devil Pussy coming soon. You can drink from it.
Oh, that's
Take
dangerous.
a slurp from the Devil Pussy.
It's a good conversation starter
It is.
with the family,
Oh my god.
I just don't like bad cats. Like mean kittens.
Yeah, those
Ugh.
things are angry little fuckers.
Something to explain to Aurelius.
Yeah, well, it's funny because like my wife doesn't know any. Like she's like so pure and humble and stuff, and she's like, "What does that mean?" And so I just sent her a picture of Amber Heard, and she's like, "Oh."
I just sent her a picture of my ex. Anyway, Melvin made a Melvin Lasso. Great job with this design.
Yes, thanks.
I'm at Mark Smelly Bell. Strength is never weakness. Weakness is never strength. Catch you guys later. Bye.
Oh god.